Hello and welcome to the Papacast. I'm Chris.
I'm Benjy.
I'm David.
And this is our episode number 1 of this brand new podcast that we decided to do from all across the country because we're in 3 different places. I'm podcasting to you from New York City.
I'm in Buffalo, Minnesota.
And I'm in Denver, Colorado.
All right. So we have been friends for a long time now. We all used to live in Denver, Benjy, David, and I. And David has 2 kids. Benjy has a child on the way, and I have a child on the way. And we decided that we wanted to get together and talk about things that scare us, things that we're excited for, things that make us laugh, funny stories. And just decided to put this in podcast form. So we're just going to see how this goes. And if people enjoy it, we'll keep doing it. And if not, we'll keep doing it anyways, because we like to talk to each other. So
we'll keep doing it for ourselves to have fun with each other.
Even if we're our only 3 listeners, there's us and our wives.
3 is better than none.
How long has it been since we've been friends? I mean, you guys met first.
But it pretty overlapped pretty quickly, actually.
Really?
Yeah, well, because me and Benjy did Altar Boys together, and I'm pretty sure we did not like each other when we first met each other.
I liked you, but you didn't like me.
I had a lot of issues. Let's be real.
Yeah.
I had a lot of issues.
You were working through some stuff.
I'm constantly working through stuff, but and then it was Wild Party, which was pretty much right after Altar Boys. And
that was when you guys, so you worked together, but then become friends until Wild Party?
I mean, I don't know. Here's the thing, is that like, I think I always like Benjy, but like I had this weird thing back then where
he was so competitive that he couldn't possibly like anybody that was anywhere near his level.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's that. But it was also
but
I also just yes, but also like I desperately always wanted to fit in with everybody, so like I feel like somebody else in the cast that I wanted to be friends with didn't like you, and so like I just jumped on that bandwagon.
But I don't know who that was, but bad taste in people if they didn't like Benjy.
No, and he ended up being an idiot. So like whatever. So but it's just I don't know. Like I said, I was just going through some stuff because I actually even remember when Danny called me about Wild Party and told me you were going to be my partner in the show. Like I was super excited about it. So like I don't know. By
the end of Altar Boys, I had broken down your.
Yeah, 100%. But like I said,
I grow on people.
It was a very flimsy wall to begin with. Let's be real. Like it wasn't like I was building like some stone fortress. But anyways, digress. But Wild Party, we met you. It was Wild Party, wasn't it, David?
Yeah, Kateri and I, my wife, had moved to Denver, Colorado in 2010, and we were starting a theater blog not too long after that, and Wild Party was one of the first shows, not the first show, but was one of the first shows that we saw and reviewed. And we even came to like the sort of preview night, like a fundraiser for the theater company. We came to that to sort of help write about it and advertise about it, and
we wanted the review to be better, so we tried to become friends with the reviewer.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a friendship instead of a good review. So that's all right.
Yeah. I do remember it being a good show.
It was a great show.
So we met a bunch of people that day and started to become friends, but I couldn't tell you, Benjy, when like we started becoming friends. I don't know if that was just through Chris, because Chris, you did a show with my wife.
Mm-hmm.
And then that led you to actually living with us for a brief stint.
Yeah.
And I think through that, like hanging out with you, we started hanging out with Benjy more.
Yeah.
And more than just you like growing people, you're just a delightful person. And so, yeah, from there. But then you guys decided to move, which I'm still angry at you about.
And that's my wife. You gotta blame that on Danielle.
Yeah, I mean, I needed to. I'm glad I moved. I'm glad. I mean, like, I'm sad. I'm sad to have left everyone, but like, I don't know. It's so fascinating because like everything pre 7 years ago seems like such a weird time. Like, I feel like it almost like in biblical terms, like the BC AD changeover happened for me 7 years ago. So
Yeah, and it's
like,
what's interesting is like you've been in New York far more than I knew you in Colorado, but so like our friendship almost like grew while you were gone, while you've been in New York, and that doesn't happen too often. So that's really special. I really appreciate that. Benji, why don't you talk a bit about you're in Minnesota, but you went there via Michigan?
Yeah, sure. So I moved from Denver to Grand Rapids, Michigan to follow my wife's residency program. She's an OBGYN now. And while there, I picked up a law degree, kind of by chance, a little bit.
on the street.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, I was doing demo for houses and paying for my theater habit in a town that doesn't pay actors. And I just burnt out on that and needed something else. Passed by a used bookstore and picked up an LSAT book and took the test. And 2 months later, I was in law school. And 2 years later, I had a degree. And then I became a public defender, which is basically the same thing as acting, just with worse consequences. And an audience that doesn't applaud at the end. So at least not yet. Still working on that. So I'm a public defender, and I grew up in Minneapolis, and my wife and I moved to Minneapolis after she finished her residency, and I've been a public defender here ever since. So in a way, moving away from Denver moved me away from professional theater in a way, but at this point in time, I'm happy and hoping to get back into theater. I really love these two guys. Once we were passing through Denver to get to Telluride, and the Cateses took us in when it snowed us in, and
that was so fun.
Chris and I made each other just so much better just by being around one another as human beings and actors throughout our time when we were in person together. And since then, we're just champions and cheerleaders for one another. So it's really nice to get together with these two beautiful men who are emotionally available and smart, and all of us are going to be dads or are dads. So let's figure that out.
Yeah, let's figure that out.
And it's super fitting that all three of us are going to have kids roughly around the same age. Because what, 9 months? 10?
Yeah, she's about 7 months right now.
7
She'll
months?
be a year old not long after baby Sherm joins us. But I also have a 5.5-year-old who will be 6 not long after baby Sherm. So yeah, like it's certainly been a journey, and that's